I'm setting out for the craft fair now, and I love that they provide us these like yellow moving bins. These are like reminiscent of my days as a student moving into the dorms. Hello, and welcome to Mary Makes. I'm Mary, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the results of my craft fair. This video is part 3 of my 3-part video series on my craft fair. So parts 1 and 2 went over how I prepared, and in this video I'm going to be going over what I brought to the fair, what I sold it at, if it sold, if it was a good item to bring or not, and just tell you about how my fair went. But before we dive in, I want to show you how my booth looked. Here's a shot of how my booth looked before the fair started. And here's a shot of how my booth looked after the fair. I know my booth still looks really stocked, but actually I'm really happy with how this fair went because I had a ton of inventory like hidden under the table. So I'm both proud of myself for making enough stuff to keep my table stocked, but also for being able to sell that many items. Before we dive into pricing, which I'm sure you're very curious about and all of that good stuff, I just want to add some context for this market. I sold at the Colorado College Arts and Crafts Fair, which is my alma mater. This is the college I went to, and what I love about this fair is like the big student energy. I love being back on campus. I love being able to see my old professors, faculty, and staff, and just like, it's just so much fun. And this year I was really excited. I got to see some of the other students that went to CC during my time, so like fellow recent grads, I guess, and it was so nice to catch up with folks. So for the social aspect of this fair, I really felt like it just filled up my cup. Additionally, selling in person compared to selling online is always so much fun because you get to see people go, "Oh, this is so cute," and they like run up to your booth and they're like, "Oh, look at this, what is this?" And that just makes me really happy. I don't really get to see the same reactions from online customers. Oh, about this fair specifically though, I've been doing this fair since I was a student. This fair went away during the pandemic, so I'm really just gonna be comparing this fair to last year. Last year I also did this fair, and last year it almost felt like folks were revenge shopping a little bit. This year there was a snowstorm that I think impacted attendance. It just felt like there were a lot less people at this fair. Even though this fair is very well advertised, the organizers, they put out radio ads, newspaper ads, they send postcards to people, and it's usually a very well attended event, but I didn't feel like it got as much foot traffic as last year. So I didn't make as much in sales this year compared to last year, but it was still a really fun fair. This fair is also juried. A juried fair means that you submit photos, an application of your work, and a panel of judges determine if you get in or not. And I like juried events because it really controls what's going to be at the event and make it more cohesive. So for example, if they only have spots for 100 vendors, but like, I don't know, 50 jewelerists, 50 people selling jewelry apply, then they're going to limit how many people are in that category. Additionally, I know the jurors are students, at least I think they are. When I was a student, I used to be on the panel to jury applicants for this craft fair as well. So I felt like, as someone familiar with the process, that I wanted to just keep doing it. Okay, I think that's all the contextual stuff. Let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with my jumbo dinosaur. I brought one and it did not sell. Normally I sell these online for a lot more, but for this fair I sold it, I was asking $150 for it. Ooh. And it did not sell, which is okay. I feel like it's always nice to bring a big ticket, large, visible item just to attract people over to your table. So, I will say a lot of people went, "Oh, look at that dinosaur." So I think your purpose was met. Next, I brought 2 of these jumbo donuts. I was asking for $75 and I sold one of them, the hot pink jumbo donut. These are a lot of fun to make, but obviously they take a long time and a lot of materials. Next, I brought 3 of these jumbo octopus, and I was asking for 60 for them, and I sold none of them. That's okay. What actually happened is this jumbo octopus wasn't actually on my table until later in the fair when more table space was created by stuff selling. So I don't know if this one actually had a fair shot at being seen. That's okay though. Really quick, I just realized that the order that I presented everything in isn't in any particular order. It's really just like what I see right next to me and then what comes to mind next. So I hope you'll watch through this whole video to see how each item did, because I'm sure you're looking to see what you should be making for your own craft fair. Next is my good old 14-inch jumbo mini dinos. I brought 4 of these and I sold 1. I asked for $60 for this guy. I brought 1 purple whale, which I don't have one to show you of in person, so here's a picture of it. I was asking $30 for it and it sold. So that one's gone. I brought 1 jumbo chicken. I was asking $40 for it, and this jumbo chicken also didn't really get a fair chance of being on the table for much of the fair, so it didn't sell. All right, mushroom boys. I brought 6 of these, and I was asking $25 for them, and I sold 4 of them, so I only have these 2 left. Candies. I brought 3 of these. I was asking $20 for them, and none of them sold. I also think some folks didn't know what they were, so maybe next time I'll like put a sign or something. All right, penguins. I brought 4 penguins and I sold 2 of them, and I sold them for $60. So yay, penguins. Jumbo panda. I brought 1 jumbo panda. I was asking $75 and jumbo panda didn't sell. Uterus. I love this uterus. It's happy on one side and angry on the other. It's like one of my favorite items I stock in my shop. I brought 2 to market and 1 of them sold. 8.5-inch dinosaurs. I brought 20 of these and I sold 5 of them because I have 15 left. I was asking $40 for these guys. Mini dinos. This is all I have left. I brought 26 of these mini dinos and I only have 6 left, so I sold 20 of them, and my asking price was $20. So yay. I will say though, I had one kind of theft, I guess. I'm sure it just was like a connection issue or something. At this craft fair, I accept cash, card, and Venmo, and somebody showed me their Venmo screen and said it like they paid, and I let them walk away before I actually received it, so I never actually received it. Meh. Lesson learned. Next time I'll just make sure I receive it before I let the customer walk away. And I just wanted to add about how I keep track of everything. I keep track of everything kind of separately. So cash transactions, I have like my cash bag of like change, like, you know, small bills, 1s and 5s and whatever. I keep track of how much is in that pouch before that day. Then I keep track of how much is in there at the end of the day. So that's just like how much I made in cash sales. Venmo, same thing. What's my Venmo balance before the event? What is it after the event? That's how much I made in Venmo sales. And then card sales are all through my Shopify. So I have my website hosted by Shopify, which means I can customize my website. I can list all of my items on there, and I can take transactions through Shopify. Shopify, in addition to being able to sell online, it allows me to do point of sale. So last year I purchased like a small little Shopify card reader. It's just like a little square that allows me to tap, insert, and swipe cards. And so that's how I keep track of credit card transactions. So just having 3 payment methods, you know, cash, card, and Venmo, I can just add them up at the end of the day, at the end of the event, and boom, there's my gross sales. Easy, don't overcomplicate it. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Next is jumbo bow. I brought 5 of these and I sold 4 of them, and I was asking $20 for a jumbo bow. Other items that I brought that I don't have pictures for because I sold them obviously. I brought 1 sushi plush that sold $20. 3 jumbo fried eggs. Those are all sold for $20 each as well. I also brought 2 broccoli. Those both sold for 25, and I don't have a picture of them, or maybe you can see them in my booth pic here. Okay, I brought 11 pickles and I only have 1 left, so that means I sold 10 of these. I was asking $12 for these pickles. A couple of them had Santa hats, so the Santa hat I asked for an extra $3 for, but I should really make more Santa hats and pickles next year. So an item that I also sell in my shop are these cute little duck with knives. I only have left, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, I only have 5 knifeless ducks left, but all 8 of my ducks with knives, they all sold. I was asking 20 for each of these ducks with knives. And pea pod, I happen to have 1 more at home, but I actually only brought 3 of them with me to the fair, and I left this one at home. I wish I brought this one with me. Pea pods, I was asking for 40, and all 3 of my pea pods sold, so this one was left at home though. Little tiny octopus, I was asking for 30, and I think I brought 8 of these, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left, so I sold 3 of these guys. I brought 5 corns, and I only have 2 left. I was asking 20 for each of these, so I sold 3 corns. For my little alien child, I brought 5 of these, and I have 2 left, so I sold 3 of them, and my asking price was $20 for these guys. Okay, I'm just going through my notes because this is, it's easy for me to do all of the items that I see I have leftovers of, but everything that I don't have anything left over of and I don't have a visual to show you, I have to like remind myself of them. So I had a bunch of miscellaneous items from like previous year's craft fairs that I'll bring to my craft fair inventory. I'm like a weirdo. I have like a craft fair inventory and a online inventory, so this is all craft fair stuff now. I had 11 items that were in my $5 bins. These were like little jellies, little cupcakes. I had like a couple little dogs, just like really random items that didn't sell last year, so they were in my clearance bin. Those all sold. I had 8 items in my $10 bin. Those are all gone. Oh, I had 14 of my small little bow. So I make this jumbo size with like the plush yarn, but with regular worsted weight yarn. I had made 14 of these and I was selling them for $8, and those are all gone. I had 6 fortune cookies, like just little fortune cookies, and I sold those all for $5 each. I had 2 little whales that I sold for $20 each. I had, I had 1 like cactus in a terracotta pot, and that sold for $35. And I also had a purple cat that I had in my $35 bin, and that sold as well. All right, I think that's everything. I know I went through that kind of fast because I had like a lot of items, a lot of unique items I brought to this fair, but I think it's really important to have a varied table at like an event because you never know what somebody's going to want. So, drum roll please, woo. Total that I made in gross sales from this event was $2,086, which is awesome for a 2-day event that went from Friday night from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and a Saturday from 10 to 5. This was really great. I just think it's really nice to be able to sell in person too. Will I do this again? 100%. I mean, not only is this fair like where I'm connected to socially, but also it's just a good event, and it like fills my cup because of the big student energy and like the community. So of that 2,086, how much did I get to keep? Oh, let's go. Okay, so first is sales tax. I built sales tax into my prices. So you know how normally the formula is like price times 1.08% or whatever your sales tax rate is. Mine is like 8.2 something equals the final price. To do it backwards, you do final price divided by 1.08 equals what you get to keep, and the rest you just subtract that out to make that your sales tax. If this confuses you, that's okay. You'll just ask your sales tax people for help. Trust me, the cities, they want your sales tax. They're more than happy to help you. So I sent, I want to say about $130 or so to the state and to the city for my sales tax. It was super easy. Last year I was like, I thought it was super complicated, but now this being my second year doing it, I was like, oh, I just like plug in my gross sales 2086. It did some math. Okay, City of Colorado Springs, you can have my sales tax. Boom, done. And then after sales tax, let's talk about expenses. So a table at this fair cost $140, so let's knock that out of the price. Also, because the weather was bad, I couldn't drive home back to, the Denver metro area. Colorado Springs is like an hour away from where I live. So we had to get a hotel overnight to stay in, and I'm really relieved we did, because like the roads were slippery, like even just driving 1 mile to get back to the fair and to leave the fair that night and the next morning, oh my gosh. But there's another $200 taken out for hotel, parking, breakfast, whatever. So I think at the end of the day, when I did all the math, I grossed, or what I get to keep is about $1,600, which is still good, but it was just a lot of work. I think as somebody who sells online, and how I know like my expenses are much lower when I sell online, comparing online to an in-person market is really kind of a stark contrast, because online I'm usually, I get to do it on my own time. I don't need to expend additional resources to be somewhere where I'm not usually. And it just, I have like a flow to doing it. So in terms of time and energy, for me, selling online goes a little more smoothly than selling in person. However, I still think I want to do at least one in-person event every year, just because of like the energy, the vibes. Like, it is so much fun to see people. It's so much fun to see students and my old professors. So yeah, it was a good fair. I've done better in other fairs, but 10 out of 10 would do again. All right, that wraps it up. I hope you enjoyed this 3-part series looking at how I prepared for this event and how it went. I had an awesome time, and let me know in the comments what questions you have. I'll put a link to all of the crochet patterns for all of the items I made in the description, so be sure to check that out if you are considering making some of these items to sell at your own craft fair. And if you are selling at your own craft fair, I hope you have a wonderful time, because these in-person events are just so special, and they can't really replace online sales in terms of like just how much fun you have getting to see people and connect with customers. So thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for my next video. Bye!